Dragon Ball Super illustrator Toyotaru, not sure, collabed with Legends to draw Vegeta and Goku. So he drew Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. I think that's what this is called. I've seen it called God, basically, but it's like a darker shade of blue on the hair. So let's draw this landscape page. Pencil and eraser. Hit pause. If I go too fast, we're going to start with his eyes. Head is real small because it's a full body, right? So in here, zoom. We'll just do a sort of a check mark, right? Like a little tick line. So it goes that way, pretty long. We like have a little spike down at the end before you go up. And then it gets thinner as it comes right back down to where we started pretty much, and it's like it's real thin down here. Okay. Then those square Dragon Ball eyes, so you have a long line, like a long diagonal line from there. And then you get the short line that's close to the nose. So it's like here. And then those are joined together. They're pretty flat in this. Like sometimes they're curved, sometimes they're flat. So it's up to you kind of what way you want to do that. We'll go flat in this one. The eyes are real big. So it's a real like large half circle coming down from the eyebrow. So it's bigger than kind of what we're used to in Dragon Ball. And then he has a pupil inside. This one's black, right? So the other eye is different because we're in 3/4 pose. So we get this kind of wrinkly frowning thing. Like that. And then his check mark for this eyebrow comes out from here and goes pretty vertical, like more up than the other one. And then it curves down and we got a square end, okay? Then this comes back down and it gets real narrow before it hits the nose. Down there. Real big box eye though. So a long sort of line here. And then we go in towards the eye. So we get the, where would the small eye be? It's really small. It's like there. Small line there. And then we join these parts together. Okay. And then the blue of his eye, again, it's pretty big. Like so. And then we can just see a little bit of his pupil just peeking down there, right? Because he's looking like real severely up. So then we have the frown of his brow. And then a wrinkly sort of real pointy nose, right? So kind of like wrinkles a bit on the side. And then comes out in. And then it goes back this way. But he draws in Dragon Ball, they draw in the shadow underneath the nose, usually. And then we got like a couple of extra wrinkles on the nose, just like coming around there. Makes him look real aggressive. And then his cheek lines. Do 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 do, like so. And his mouth comes out from the nose, right? It touches his nose. So, and he's gritting his teeth, like real. Like so, curves like that looks just super angry, but we'll open the mouth, bring it down a bit. And it comes out to the tip of the nose over here, right? So it's like the open part of it is here. And then it comes back around the bottom lip. Like so. And then you just draw like a curved line, kind of like a broken line for his teeth here. And some hatching under the bottom lip. And then his chin. And those are the features of the face. So because we're in 3/4 pose, we have a cheek line and a jaw line. So two different designs on either side of the face, two different line patterns. So it goes diagonally there. Okay, and just underneath the eyebrow, kind of across from his mouth. See? And then you change your direction, go up towards his ear. And his ear sort of lines up with the bottom of his eye. You get a big ear coming all the way up. Very big ears in Dragon Ball. Like so. And we get his sideburn here. Just at the top of the ear. And then some ear lines. The easiest way. Letter J, this sort of curvy shape. But if you want, you can do some more sort of earline stuff inside. So on the other side of his face, we get his cheekbone, right? So it goes out to his cheek, changes direction up to his eyebrow. Like that, so different to the other side. And we can see like a bit of his ear sticking out from behind his hair. We're going to do his hair first. So Vegeta's hairline has a big V in the middle, right? So it kind of like follows the shape for his head. And this will go round down this way. Right, the other side, pretty big as well. Like that. And then we have just like side of his head and some veins and stuff in here. Now his hair is that classic sort of Super Saiyan style. So it's big spikes, sticks out a bit and then gets pointy up the middle. Kind of like a candle flame sort of a thing. So we will go from his ear and then go around. So quite wide, kind of spikier than normal. So there's like a layer of them that comes around the front. right there, and then there's like another layer in behind. So there's like some in there, here, and the big one in the middle, of course. Another one there. Then texture lines on all these, so you just kind of follow each hair spike shape, adding these 2 or 3 of them. Now in the manga they do a bit more, but if you want, you can. But not necessary, really. It's kind of up to you how many you do. It's just to make it look just a little bit hairier. Right, and then we can see a little bit of his ear, just sort of coming out here. So, anatomy. Big, large arm coming this way. Broken Saiyan armor. Okay, so ripped and torn, so like his red skin tight sort of uniform thing. So I guess we got to deal with this arm. So just beside his ear here, we get like his shoulder bumps, right? His muscles on his shoulder, 2 bumps. There. Okay. And then this is like a ripped and torn costume coming around this. There's like a vein. Okay. So then the shoulder keeps going. And then we get like his bicep here. Now everything's real short because it's coming towards the camera, okay? It's coming towards the viewer. So we get like some tears in his costume. And then like his forearm muscles sort of sticking out. There's like a little tear here. And then we get some bumps for the forearm. Tricep. Bicep. Okay. So this all disappears then into his white glove. So the glove just comes around and like things get real big now up here because the fist is like coming right towards us. So it's like skin visible in there. So this is like the start of his fist. Right, so his knuckles and his fist and everything, so see like his fist is roughly drawn in, sort of like this, curving around, right? Then, so this is like his pinky, and then we go down in the next one. They're kind of like L shapes. This one kind of sticks out a bit more. His index finger. And the thumb comes around all the bottom of these. Doop. Okay, and then we get like some knuckle lines. Okay. So tricky now, that whole section, because of the perspective of it. So hit pause that if you're having trouble and take your time. Not easy. So we can see his back. So we'll connect it all up sort of to his torso and stuff. So we can see his back here underneath his hair. And he has like all this armor and like a shoulder pad, or a strap, should I say, maybe. That sort of golden one that he always has. Just kind of see the edge of it. So that's all skin in there. You know, all lines on this shoulder pad. And then the chest armor is cracked, so it's kind of broken here. Down around underneath. So little detail lines like cracks and stuff on this. And then this is ripped and torn blue fabric going around the other side of his chest, which comes out from his chin. And chest muscle there, chest muscle going the other way. And then his neck muscles and all that stuff in there. So then hit the bottom of his armor's here. And there's some details on that. So we got like just different sort of sections, different armor plates and stuff. Right, before we do the legs, I'll just finish this other fist up here so we can just see the wrist of his glove. And then a clenched fist just coming down. There. Okay, so one knee up, very muscular, the other one straight down. Maybe we'll do the straight one first. So we have like the midsection, like his groin, right? So here. And then the thigh muscles, but we have some like tears coming out of his sort of leg here first. And then like very muscular, like calf muscle. Like, so his knee is in there somewhere, but all curvy, right? So I think that's his knee. And all thigh muscles. And then his foot goes into a boot. Comes down. It's all sort of bumpy on the ankle part. And then just a standard sort of boot shape pointing down. Gold on the top, like that. And then we'll try the knee that's coming towards us. Again, very big. A few sort of spikes coming off it. ripped and torn here on the knee section. All these tears sort of just coming around. Right, we can see the skin, like his kneecap. So it's like this. Then we got all muscles just coming around that, bumping. Around his kneecap. And then there's a white boot in there again, so let's see, we just get his heel here. And then this sort of shoe. Looks like a white top of his boot there. Comes around this way. And some fold lines. Okay. And do we get it all? I think so. You could add aura stuff as well if you want, like details around. Like you could do a big aura thing if you wanted, but we'll keep it simple here. We'll just, well, that's difficult. It's a hard to draw body position, I must say. But still, I had to draw it. It's pretty cool. Hope it's helpful. Someone said you should change the channels to art hard. I know. We try and make things simple. We try and take hard things and make them simple. That's the goal. But things have gotten out of hand. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.